Hi everybody, my name is Neta, and it's a pleasure to be here today in React.js Case Study Festival 2021. So, today I will be presenting about performing in a robust and scalable project by creating a components library. Before we begin, I would like to thank all of you for being here with us and spend a little bit of your time to acquire more knowledge. Who am I? I am a minimalist developer who loves to talk about technology, financial education, and investments. I am currently working as a mobile developer with React Native at ABC Bank Brazil. I also write technical articles on my blog, ildaneta.dev. And for love to share knowledge and help other people, I am a dev mentor on LinkedIn and Discord community. And if you have some questions about career, code, LinkedIn, or GitHub, feel free to contact me. So, these are the topics that I will be talking to you today. And to start, what is Pix? What is design system and how can we bring it to life? Our decision to create a components library, benefits of creating our own library, good practices building a library, team motivation, and closing. And to start, what is Pix? Pix is a new instant method of payment in Brazil. Pix allow us to transfer or receive funds by generating a QR code or a key. And with our keys, we can generate random keys instead of having to disclose personal data. And this was a little introduction about Pix. And now let's understand more about our project. So, do you know what a design system is? A design system is a living product which can be constantly improved and evolved. In addition, it is a product that serves other products dynamically. And in this product, we have a set of rules such as typography, colors, dimensions, usage patterns, which together brings more consistency in the interface that uses it. Easier, no? But how the design system usually looks like? These are some specifications taken from our Figma, where the designers created some rules of our design system, and this is how it looks like. We can see here our font family, our typography, variations of font size, line height, and font weight. And these characteristics are called design tokens and look like piece of Lego, as each of them can be grouped to form a Lego component or simply our components. Therefore, a component is created from by merging of one or more design tokens, as you can see here. And here we have the specifications about the heading 3 that have a font family 01, font size LG, line height LG, and font width 700. And all these pieced together, they form the heading 3 text component. So, you might wonder, the design system is a product only for designers, right? No, it is completely wrong. Although we have designed the name, the design system only exists if we developers codify it. And usually, the best way to create a live design system is to build a components library. With this, now let's talk about our decision to create a components library. Our decision was based in some particularities of Pix project at ABC Bank Brazil. And the first one is a very challenging project. Pix was a very challenging project for us because it was the first time that we had an instant payment method in our country. The second particularity was a short period of time to develop it, because we would have to finish the implementation in 3 months. We started in August and finished it in the beginning of November, as the application had to be available at Play Store and Apple Store by November 16th. And finally, we had a small team to develop the entire project. We are a team of 5 developers, including myself, and merging all these particularities helped us to create our own library, because we would save time and team efforts. And here we have some existing UI components library, such as React, Checker UI, Material UI, InDesign, and Grommet. And all these libraries are very good, but it is hard to change or add some styles and properties inside the component. This is a commonality among them. And in the Pix project, we would like to create custom components and components devoted to the users, providing a good usability and user experience. And relying on those existing libraries, we would not have as much flexibility. And it turned out the ability to change component styles and properties was our first benefit of creating our own components library. In addition, other benefit is reusable components, because when we build a components library based on design system, this project will serve other projects. As you can see in this image, we have our components library at hand, so it can be used in the Pix project and in other projects. And this feature helps us to maintain visual consistency, as the library becomes our only source of truth. And another advantage brought is that it prevents us from building duplicate components. Finally, another benefit learned is that the creation of our components library helps us to increase communication between different teams. Because designers and developers will be speaking the same language, and if anyone has any doubts or questions, we will be consulting the same Figma file. And it also helps when new members join the team, as they will understand from where the interface rules came from, helping the team to have the same visual understanding. And now let's talk about good practices that we can use when creating a components library. I am going to share the ones we used in our project and in our code. The first one was how we named our components. For example, we used min card with icon as the component name. This component is shown in the emulator on the left, and you can see that it has a mini card with an icon. Another good practice that we utilized was to add the letter I at the beginning and props at the end of the interface name. The letter I indicates that it is an interface, and props indicates the min card with icons property. Other good practice we adopted in our code was to extend existing properties such as touchable opacity props. So we did not need to recreate properties. And after we extended the touchable opacity props and destructured its properties, I only used onPress property, but all the other properties are available anytime to use. As you can see here. And after I use the onPrex, another good practice we adopted was to create the separate files with all our variables for all our colors, as you can see here, and our dimensions. And we have here with div, height values, margins. And in our fonts family file, we have all the font weight configured. And in our font size file, we are utilizing rem, which is a relative measurement. And 1 rem equals 16 pixels. And we adopted one of our dev suggestions, which was to name our variables with a number at the end that indicates the pix value. And it facilitates when we need to use these variables. For example, our variable named xlarge24 equals 24 pixels and 1.5 rem at the same time, and you will understand it better in a little bit. So, I created this homepage in order to show you how we use these tokens in real life. I am using a text component where we utilize the TypeScript because TypeScript helps a lot, especially with the IntelliSense feature that shows us how the properties are used. In this case, this component has mandatory properties such as description and headstrong title, and it will remain red until these props are filled out. And let's fill out the description. And The headstrong title property is a Boolean type, and TypeScript does not allow that property to receive a different value. For example, I will set its value as right, and then it informs that it is not compatible with the Boolean type. And I will change this value for the Boolean value. Now, I am going to change the description color by utilizing our colors design token. The font color was gray, and I will change it to a dark gray, and you can see it in the emulator on left. Now I am going to change the font size of this component, and you will see the advantage of naming our variable with a number at the end indicating the pix value. So, by looking at our variables, I know that xlarge24 equals 24 pixels, and the large 18 equals 18 pixels. Another property that this component expects is the align description that receives a value, and this value will align the text as we set it. We created the num, and when the dev fills out this property value, it will indicate its available values, and this prevents it to be filled out with non-existent values. And looking at the inside the num, we can see its expected values such as left, right, center, and justify. Lastly, we adopted another good practice, which is to use the JSX.elementReturn instead of the React.fc. So these are the good practices we utilize. And you might wonder, what motivated us to deliver a very challenging project with great quality within a small period of time? The first reason was the ability to communicate among ourselves. We had frequent meetings on Discord where we were free to present different solutions and reach a final result. We also performed tests together, which allowed us to be more efficient along the project. And we also shared knowledge on a day-to-day basis, which was a mutual help as we clarified each other's doubts and suggested ideas of improvement. And we had a pleasant environment, and the developers had the freedom to be as creative as possible and were encouraged to give out our best. And I believe those motivations guided us and allowed us to deliver a successful project that was well recognized by the bank. And to wrap up, these are some images showing our PIX project result. I hope that you liked this case study that I presented to you today. It was a challenging project and a great accomplishment. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me. And thanks for your presence.